Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, I'm going to do a reading for you guys. Hello, everyone. I hope your new year went well. Ooh, let me. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. Let me just. Okay. So, I asked what this reading was going to be about, and what I heard is ignore the distractions and focus on your goal. Okay. So, that's amazing. I feel like soul is talking to me directly. Probably is. I'm going to set my timer because I need to get back on track with time management. So we're going to set this timer. Once this starts doodling, it's time to go, girl. It's time to go, girl. Whether you're done with all the cards or not, it's time to go, girl. So, all right, let me just, oh, Lord. Okay. Those cards, and then we'll just pull a couple more, and then we're done. We're ready. Let's get started. Here goes. Here goes. Oh, okay. There's some stuff going on, and you're kind of needing to make sure that you have a clear understanding of what exactly is being attempted by you and on you, because that's the feeling that I'm getting. I think for many of us, we're kind of like, we're aware of the things that we need to do, but I don't know that we are aware to the degree that we need to be aware of how on track we are. So for many of us in this community, uh, we have a very elevated purpose. And with an elevated purpose, there's going to be a lot of focus on you. There's going to be a lot of attempts to derail your progress. There's going to be a lot of attempts to get you in a space of negative mindset, negative emotions, focused on really, really negative things. Because you know what happens when you focus on the negativity that you've experienced or that you're dealing with? You end up depleting your energy a lot faster. Okay. It becomes something that is a slippery slope. Once you start with that, it doesn't take much for it to get out of hand, uncontrollable, and then you're free falling into a space of negativity and feeling very depleted. So what you need to be aware of is what you're holding hands with. What are you in union with? For many of us, we're in union, holding hands with, working with both the positive and the negative, which that's very normal. It is very much acceptable, but you have to be aware of which is which. You have to have that degree of discernment that will allow you to move through this with much more awareness. There is someone that is super emotional right now in the comments. Not commenting, but super emotional in the comments. Okay. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. That was a thought that I was supposed to just think to myself. Okay, now that I've said it out loud. Who is it? Who is feeling a little bit of the emos? Are you all right? Are you okay? You're feeling some of the emos. Is it me? Do I make you emo? I make a lot of people emo. I do. It's okay. It's okay. I make a lot of people emo, like good emo, bad emo. It's just a sprinkling of different types of emo. Would it make you feel better if I told you my sweat smells like birthday cake? Would it help? You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, this is full of egg white protein that is allegedly vanilla flavor, but it smells like birthday cake. It smells and tastes like birthday cake. This is full of recovery drink for post workout. So we've had our juice. Little bit of a snack. This is my current obsession. I eat an entire bag per day. I'm not even joking. It's amazing. It's the name is Lesser Evil. Sun Poppers. It's kind of like a very naughty baby cereal. Not even joking. It's so good though. It's so good because it makes me kind of feel normal, like I could eat junk. Would you guys? Like I could eat junk. I can't, but that's as close as it's going to get. You feel better? You feel better? My sweat smells like birthday cake. I'm not even joking. It does. I was like, someone had snacks at the gym. And then I was like, I fucking smell like birthday cake. Yeah. And then another thing, this will make you absolutely giggle. It'll make you absolutely giggle. So yesterday, was it yesterday? Maybe the day before. I'm not sure. Not today. The last time I went to the gym, your girl was going hard. I'm saying I was going hard. I really should stop eating that snack because it gives me gas. So what happened was this. I was going super hard, and I was like exhausted. Oh my God. And I was like, okay, time to work on core. And so I was on the floor on a yoga mat, one of those like extra thick silicone yoga mats that the gym provides, like amazing mat. I was laying on that on my back. And then I got up halfway to do Russian twists, where you kind of just like dangle your feet in the air and then you're like, ooh, 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 with the weight, right? And just, I wear noise canceling AirPods. I don't hear anything at the gym except my music. I play it super loud. I don't hear anything at the gym. Here's a disclaimer. I'm absolutely shameless. I am. I'm absolutely shameless. Just like not a single drop of shame in my body. Speaking of, I had a whole bunch of gas because I eat a very high protein diet. He's already laughing. Oh my God. So this older gentleman goes to this younger lady who's working out like super close to me because the gym was super packed. There's so many people around. Oh my God. Oh my God. And I fucking farted. I didn't just fart. I felt it reverberate in the mat and travel. Because for some reason, I decided to put my waist trainer over my pants. I felt it up my back through the waist trainer. And then I heard it. Oh, shit. I was like, still continuing with my Russian twists. And then the old man goes like, and then the girl looks at me in the mirror and I was just like, y'all ain't none of my business. And they didn't say anything. So that was lovely. I know it was loud because I heard it through my music. And I felt it reverberate. It went like that on the yoga mat. And I was just like, it is what it is. Just keep going, girl. They couldn't say for sure if it was me because I didn't look embarrassed at all. I just do what I do, which I'm antisocial at the gym, and I just kept right on with my Russian twist, staring straight ahead like, no, bitches, I'm busy. I ain't got time. But at least, here's the kicker, it smelled like birthday cake. Shit. It did. It is what it is. It smelled like birthday cake. So that's that. Oh, and the old man was taking a selfie with a younger woman, a video selfie. So it's recorded. It's recorded. It's recorded. It is what it is. It's not just the audio that was recorded. I feel like it's important for you guys to know this. It's not just the audio that was recorded for those who don't realize. Because of the way they were positioned, my face is right in between them, a Russian twisting as I farted. So, you not sad no more. So it's all good. Hold on, the heater. Okay. All right. Carrying on. Carrying on. Is it right? I was totally shameless. I texted my family, my circle of trust. I texted them and I let them know. And then my littlest was like, "But mommy, why?" Because I take in a lot of protein, son. I don't know. Because of the cassava flour in my dirty snack. I don't know. I was bloated. God, it's normal. It's natural. It's okay. But it's recorded too. So um maybe one of these days I'll ask him, "Hey, you remember when you were doing like selfies with everyone in your workout community? Um, did you happen to record when I farted?" Farted behind you? I'm just super curious. Did the audio get recorded? And he probably already thinks I'm weird. It's fine. I'm shameless. It's okay. So you got to be careful and assess what you're holding on to more. Is it the negative or is it the positive? It's okay if you hold on to both. I mean, you have two hands. It's not a big deal, right? It's definitely not a big deal. And what's going to end up happening is um, either way, you're going to be made aware of which one you're putting so much focus into. For example, if you're feeling very depleted, if you're feeling like you just can't get anything done, there's a high likelihood, a very high what the fuck is going on with my lip? Yo, I just, some days I get so distracted. It looks like I got something on my lips. I gotta fix it. Or else I'm gonna keep staring at it. There we go. Ooh. It's this side. Okay. All right, there we go. Oh, and my sister totally gave me a new compact. I do. I love it. Okay. For some of you, when you realize that you are holding on to the negatives, you'll realize this because you'll see it's an upside down mirror of your own darkness, your own shadow. I think this is a period that we're entering into where we're being kind of forced, strong armed into recognizing the holding patterns that we've been carrying for quite a few years now. So that's not a distraction. That's not something to ignore. That's definitely something to focus on, work through. You have to take responsibility for those ways in which you're holding yourself. Um, One of the things that comes to mind is the type of dynamics that you continue to maintain with other people, the people you love. Are you someone who is a people pleaser? Are you an overgiver? Are you someone who consistently allows yourself to be depleted, um, and pretends it's not a big deal to be that depleted simply because you struggle with boundaries, because there are still people in your life who were present before you began your growth, before you began your spiritual journey. And so now you feel like you're still stuck in those types of connections with those people. Those connections need to be adjusted. Boundaries need to be applied in all directions. They just do. You can't have boundaries for only the new people, but the old people who have known you the longest, they're going to be able to continue these toxic cycles with you because you don't want them to get mad at you or accuse you of changing and being different. You're supposed to change. As you grow, you become different. To stay the same your entire life is to not grow at all. So you need to start really assessing these connections that you've maintained, quite possibly the oldest connections that you have. Uh, have you been applying the types of growth that you've been cultivating for yourself to those connections as well? Because if not, those are becoming distractions. There is a phenomenon that I'm very, very familiar with because of my actual work. So, for those who are new to my channel and to me, I'm actually not a tarot card reader. I have the capacity to use cards to hyper focus my clairs, all my clair abilities. They're all active, but I got ADHD, so I just rewind this video a few minutes and you'll see how distracted I got. I don't just have one squirrel in my head. I've had several that live there. They play with each other and sometimes they fight, and then I get distracted. So my real job, my day job is as a morphogenetic engineer. I do a lot of very advanced molecular compaction corrections. I do work on core codes that then affect a lot of the symptomatic presentation people experience. I'm a medical intuitive and a whole bunch of other things. But one of my most highly developed skills has to do with parasitic extraction. I'm a demonologist and an exorcist. That's what I do for work. And so one of the phenomena that I'm very, very familiar with when it comes to demonic activity, demonic modus operandi, things like that, it's the phenomenon of Trojans, parasitic Trojans. So if a parasite, a demon, can't access you directly because you're too aware, you're too you're paying too much attention to uh events in your life and what have you, you're too protected, whatever the reasoning. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll go ahead and they will access people who have access to you. So these oldest relationships that you still maintain, are they going to be used as Trojans? right, are these people who have allowed themselves to go through their own process of expanding their awareness, their own process of growth, um, their own process of really holding themselves accountable and just behaving responsibly with their life and their decisions. Is that, you know, is that someone that's healthy for you? Because I mean, if they're not healthy for you, if they're really just going to be Trojans, if they're not doing their own internal work, I mean, the easiest type of person to breach in a parasitic sense is someone who's not owning who they are. And I mean, maybe this is information you need to know as well. If you're continuing to reject yourself, your most authentic self, because you're ashamed and you're embarrassed of who you are, that creates a void in your space. And that void, as they say, if you build it, they will come. The voids that exist in you, the parts of you that you reject, that's where parasites occupy. That's where they occupy. And so these people who you're maintaining connections with that don't take responsibility for their actions, they're going to be very easily accessible by parasitic things. If they're very easily accessible, well, then now the parasite has access to you as well. Because of their access to you, the parasite has access to you. So that it can be something that, you know, can just be annoying, can cause nonsensical drama that you could easily push away, or it could be something that creates massive upheaval in your life. You have to use elevated discernment to figure out, is this person being used to create massive unnecessary upheaval? Because if they are, you're going to have to make some tough decisions. It's not for me to tell you what to do. It's just not. But no, what you've been programmed to believe as socially acceptable, those programs are designed to always limit you in your ability to love yourself and provide yourself the appropriate safe spaces to continue growing. That's what those are. That's what those are. Okay. So you're going to need to kind of think about a lot of different things before it's presented to you, because ignore the distractions and focus on your goal. The sense that I get from that is that there's going to be a lot of learning pushed your way. There's going to be a lot of circumstance that's going to be pushed into your space in order to really test how deeply you've learned whatever previous lessons and cycles you've been through. And if you're able to apply what you've learned, you won't initiate another cycle of that, whatever that is. But if you're going to have the same responses and you're going to keep doing the same things, you're going to have another cycle of it. And it's probably going to be much more intense than the previous one. So be careful about what you choose, okay? Remaining focused on your goal means not allowing the unnecessary to distract you, to derail you, to cause you to revert back to the same spaces that you once lived in, right? Homecoming in reverse. I think for some of us, there's something that you've been waiting for, maybe someone, and it's just either it's being delayed, like further delayed, or it's something that you just need to let go of. It really depends. I think you know best which message applies to you. There's this thing that you've been waiting for, or this person, this circumstance, whatever it is. And it's either being delayed, possibly indefinitely delayed, or it's just not coming at all. Or maybe that's the feeling that you're getting. Hmm. I don't know. I think for someone, or maybe even several of you, it's this sense that whatever this is, I feel like you haven't really been doing the actual work that needs to be done. I know. People don't like to hear that. Well, you want me to lie to you? Because I can't do that. I don't want to do that. Maybe this is just not the video for you. Um, I think for some, you've been doing work. It's not that you haven't been doing work, it's that you've been doing work that you don't need to do rather than the work that your soul has been telling you to do, right? So you're going to need to make some adjustments to that. Okay. Um, for example, because someone's like, is it work? Work? Clearly not. Clearly not. So, okay, you're supposed to go and do the dishes. The sink is full of dishes, but you don't like doing dishes. But it's your turn to do the dishes, and the sink is piled up with dishes. So rather than doing the dishes, what are you doing? Oh, you wipe down the counters. Oh, you rearranged your bookshelf. Oh, you went ahead and you sorted your laundry. I mean, you're doing work, but not the work you're supposed to do. You still got to do those damn dishes. And you still got to do the dishes. Ain't nobody doing the dishes for you, right? 'Cause that's what I'm talking about. Sometimes when we don't want to do something, we look for distractions. Is this process of growth a difficult one for you? Are you afraid of who you're going to become? Are you afraid of the uncertainty? That's probably why you're looking for distractions without even realizing it. This doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you dumb or weak. It's just something you need to recognize about yourself, right? I know some have been offended that I said that. Well, what I'm going to say is going to offend you more. It's about time someone holds you accountable for your behaviors. How are you going to grow if everyone always turns a blind eye to the ways and the behaviors that you have that continue to derail your progress? I want you to progress at your own time and pace. Um, but I want you to progress. I don't want you to remain stuck. So be mad. That's fine. I'm a mom to quite a few boys. All I have are boys. And I don't give a fuck if you're mad at me. As I tell my kids, you're allowed to get mad at me. Yeah, I mean, you don't agree with me, you can be mad at me. You can't disrespect me. I won't tolerate that shit. Or you could be mad at me. You could let me know, like, I think that's unfair. I get it. I would feel that too if I was you. But I'm still your mom and it's still my job to guide you. So it's okay for you to be mad at me. If you need me to step in temporarily as like a mom figure and let you know, I will. It's okay. I'm okay with that. So that's what's happening. We're needing to be aware of where we're at within our process. I think for many of us, we don't really know where that is. And the sooner you can be honest with yourself about not knowing where that is, the sooner you can begin seeking out what you actually need to do to facilitate this process. You're entering into a space of tremendous change, a space where you can really make some beautiful, very powerful life altering decisions. What are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do with that? That's a massive opportunity. It's a massive opportunity. No. Just because it's for you doesn't mean it's just going to be given to you. You're going to have to go through the process that will help you to develop the degree of maturity that is necessary to properly function in that role. I was having a very powerful conversation with someone, someone very dear to me. And it was this thing of, and I've gone through this same thought where it's like, I've taken too long. I felt that at certain parts of my journey. I've taken too long to achieve the things that I need to achieve, and I'm not even there yet. And it's like I'm so behind, and all of these other things that I would tell myself. And then I came to this realization at some point, not long ago, just a few years ago. The version of me that needed to exist to properly fill the role for that purpose that I was born to fulfill, it didn't exist yet. So, no, I'm not late. I'm exactly where I need to be in my process, right? So, this reading, some people will take it as she's calling me out. I'm getting triggered. Okay, that's your process. Be triggered, feel that way. That's valid for you, right? Is that the reality? Not really, but it's valid for you. This is where you're at. What's really happening is you're being provided the opportunity to become very, very clear on what your goal is and some of the ways in which you will begin progressing towards that goal. I don't believe you're late. I believe you're right in the middle of the process that brings you to the other side of your fear. That's why I'm triggering you so much. Yeah. That's why I don't mind if I'm triggering you, because I'm willing to play the villain temporarily. I'm willing to be seen as offensive in order to bypass all of these different excuses that are really nothing more than coping mechanisms. These coping mechanisms are keeping you stuck in the same cycles. And you wouldn't be here if you weren't ready to grow. You wouldn't be here if you weren't at the cusp of breaking loose from those old patterns. You wouldn't be so offended. You know why you're offended? If you are, because you finally reached a level of awareness that you can no longer deny your awareness of what you are doing to sabotage your own growth. I do this too. I go through these cycles as well. Like I said, it doesn't make you a bad person. But if you're not going to take accountability, you're going to be stuck in that same cycle. And that's completely fine. If you need another go around it again. Go around the merry-go-round go around again. Do it a few times if you need. The important thing is that you understand why these patterns are repeating. It's not that you need to stop the pattern right now. Like, no. It's okay if you go around several more times. As long as you are aware you have chosen that. There is still stuff, whatever it is, that you're learning from those cycles. So learn it so that you can develop the maturity, the growth that can catapult you into the next part. Excuse me. See, look, round and round the maypole they go. Round and round, right? You're creating something for yourself. You're creating a circumstance that's going to be beneficial for you in the end. It might not feel beneficial right now. It might feel like you're being called out and you're very, very frustrated and all of these other things. Okay. You can feel that. I'm serious. You could feel that. I mean, that's valid. Whatever you're feeling for a reason. Find out the reason. I'm not the reason you're feeling that. I'm triggering the process, but I'm not the actual reasoning behind that. we have to be very clear with ourselves, the process that we are in. You can't continue to project in order to blind yourself to the reality of the process you're in, right? It's just the process. It's not designed to completely destroy you. It's designed to deconstruct the parts of you that resist this forward progression towards a more authentic version of you. You're shedding layers. You are shedding these layers. It is inevitable. Your change is inevitable. It's a good thing. Part of what's happening when you shed is you are healing. You are getting rid of the excess layers that prevent you from properly shining, properly showcasing the beauty of your personal power over your personal journey. You can't control other people. You can't control other people's journeys. The only thing you can actually control is yourself. And most of us, myself included, we struggle with that. How could you ever control someone else when you can't even control yourself? I have to ask myself that sometimes, like, you out of control, girlfriend. You out of control. Okay, let's see. Being ungrounded, right? Being ungrounded and allowing ourselves to recognize that we are on the cusp of being unhinged, because there's a lot of agitating codes frequency that's being pushed out into the environment, right? You have to be aware of what process you're in. Just be aware. It's not necessarily that you have to do something to correct it right now. It's not necessarily that you have to stop the process immediately. No. Oftentimes you just have to be aware and observe as you are in the process to truly reap the benefits of what you're supposed to learn through that. Okay. And once you do that, then things get contained. They get contained nicely, very appropriately. Ooh, okay. Okay, this is definitely reiterating what we've been talking about. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, that's so okay. Literally all of the cards from this deck um is everything reiterated, right? So the camel boy, small steps, asking for help. You need to take small steps. Okay. You have the reserves to make it through the period that you're in. Camels, they are designed to exist in very inhospitable, hostile environments. They weather it just fine. Same as you. Okay. So that's the reiteration that you don't necessarily have to exit out of the environment, but you do need to begin consciously choosing to develop the awareness of the environment you are in. Circuitous route, perception. So I think for some of us, our perception is very distorted, maybe because someone in your environment has been gaslighting you for a prolonged period. Maybe you've been the one gaslighting yourself. Um, just a lot of distortions in the perception, causing you to cycle and circle and circle and cycle and cycle and circle and circle and cycle. Round and round and round you go. Now, I think for some, part of the reason why you continue to cycle round and round and round is because of the fact that you're accruing a charge. You are building energy, reserves of energy. So, um, part of the dynamics of manifestation includes some degree of understanding of the relationship between magnetism and bioelectricity. Okay. So As you circle around and around, you're building a charge. When you hold that charge inside yourself, you're actually increasing your vibration, which is inversely tied to your bioelectric state, which it determines your oscillatory rate, your frequency level, your dimensional level of consciousness, all of those things. So they're inversely tied. When one goes up, the other goes down. When the other goes up, the other goes down. So it's like a seesaw. As you're going round and round in circles, you're feeling very insecure, you're feeling very frustrated, and you become very withdrawn. And as you're doing that, the emotions, the thoughts that are causing you to enter into a state of withdrawing, conserving your energy, what's happening is you're increasing your vibratory rate, which is by definition internally held energy. And as you increase your vibratory rate and you lower your oscillatory rate, what ends up happening is you enter into a magnetic state. This is a precursor for manifestation. When you're in that magnetic state, whatever you begin to hyperfixate on, that specific banding of frequency that you are now existing in because of the thoughts, because of the emotions, the hyperfixation, all of that, that then will calibrate what you are bringing to you. Does this make sense? I don't know. So if you would like me to teach you, I love to teach these type of topics. Love it. Could talk about it for hours and hours and hours. I will be teaching the morphogenetic fundamentals workshop. No one's taught me any of this stuff. I was just born knowing this information. The energetic work that I do is actually one that I remember from previous lives. So it's aura spectra bioregenesis. It's a form of quantum chaotic science. It's a very esoteric subject matter. I don't know that you would find it maybe in the Mahabharata texts or the Upanishads. I'm not sure. Because those are some of the oldest sacred texts. A lot of like Indian texts, they documented a lot of this. But anyways, if you'd like to learn more how to properly harness your energy, this is a 4-hour workshop. It's virtual. You don't have to go anywhere. It's in your home. And you have access to the recording after the event is done. So if you can't make it, you can still participate. And I teach you the techniques, how to harness things, how to utilize your energy, all of that safely, not in ways that will wreck your alignment. A lot of the things that we're being taught, So the circuitous route, as long as your perception is something that remains within the realm of clarity, there's no distortions due to fear, rejection, self-abnegation, and things like that. You're going to start manifesting some very profound outcomes. Very profound outcomes. That's why ignore the distractions and focus on your goal. For many, the distractions that are being thrown at you from left field, right field, center line, and beyond the goalpost, it's coming from all directions. It's just a lot of negativity to get you into this negative frame of mind. Why? It's not just to irritate you. It's not just to irritate you. It's to skew your perception and cause you to enter into a negative frame of mind. They want to waste the entirety of your manifestation charge. Fuck that shit. Bitches. Not you guys. I'm telling you, I have a special relationship with demonic things. They're fucking bitches. I don't like them. They don't like me. Reciprocal. That's all I need to know. You don't like me, I don't like you. That's fine. That's fine. So yeah, no, they're trying to waste your manifestation energy. I will be doing the 111 fire ceremony. That's um, a ramped up version of the 1-1 portal. That one is triple amplification, 3 being the number of a solid foundation from which to build. And that's why I didn't do a fire ceremony on the first, right? So this is what's loading into the template. This is loading, you guys. The portal windows are prairie dogging. They're prairie dogging. They're opening and closing, opening and closing, opening and closing. And as we get closer to that portal period, because it's not just on 111, it's like a 3-day window. So it's the 10th, 11th, and the 12th. But as we approach that window, your manifestation capabilities, potentialities, that's going to increase tremendously. It is. You have to be able to do something with this. You can't just waste this. Like, fucking amen. I'm so fucking annoyed. Stop wasting your manifestation energy. Do you realize how many times I've done this to you? Do you realize this? Where you've gotten so fucking close. You're making veins pop out my neck. See that? You got so close to making it happen. And then you let something get in your head and you pulled back. Stop. Stop. That's just that. You guys heard me several weeks back. I'm always over here like crying. I work out 6 days a week, 3 hours a day, and my body's just eating itself. I entered into a catabolic state. I didn't eat enough protein, because you're a girl. I'm saying it's hard for me to eat enough to sustain what I'm doing. And I was like, man, I was in such a negative frame of mind. So I think annoyed with myself, annoyed with everything. That negative frame of mind was just, that's all I can say about that. Right? And so what happened? What happened? I'm going to show you what happened. I refocused myself. I refocused and I was like, no, fuck that shit. I'm not going to stop because I was going to stop. And then I was like, no, fuck that shit. Right? I'm going to show you guys this. Hold on. It's just like acting a fool right now. I don't want you guys having my screen name. I don't want nobody adding me on this app. Because I don't. I'm very private. I don't want you guys seeing any of my stuff. I don't want you to see my progress pics. Is what it is. I ain't even gonna lie. What? I don't. That's private. Anyways, so this is from December 17th to December 23rd. So that's like 7 days. 7 days. Y'all, let me put this on the screen because I don't want to hold it. I just want you to, baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. I know what you want. You know I got it. Baby, if you give it to me, I'll give it to you. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, what I'm trying to say is this. I will allow those cycles that cause me to enter into a state of frustration and just pure irritation with myself or whoever is involved. because it serves me in the end. I know this for a fact. It serves me in the end. So I was over there like, I should just quit. I should just quit. I'm so mad. I'm so frustrated. Right? Right. I just needed to eat is what it was. Look, this is in 1 week. Let me zoom it in closer. Okay. In 1 week, 12/7 to 12/23, not only did I not give up because motherfuckers, I'm not a quitter. I'm not a quitter. I don't fucking think so. I did 884 minutes at the gym. That's 55% more than what I did the previous week. I lifted 312,941 pounds. That's 52% more than I did the week before. Mind you, I still need an inhaler at the gym because I'm still kind of messed up. I did 26 personal records. That's 14 more than the week before because I was dying the week before. But look at this. Look at this. Cumulative. Out of 442 sessions, I've lifted 15,453,636 pounds. And as someone who is very much driven by numbers, because numbers speak to me, right? Numbers talk to me so much. That tells me, girl, you can have all the tantrums that you want. You can say whatever the hell you want and convince yourself of all of this negative stuff. But at the end of the day, it is not within your character to give up, to stop. So maybe accept that about yourself. The difference between personality and character. We need to understand the difference between those two. The app is called, here, I'll show you. I'll soy sauce you. Jeffit. This is, let me put it on the screen. This is the name of the app. Jeffit. Yeah. Jefit. Jeffit. I love the app. You could like make all these different changes and stuff and really customize it to yourself with a free version. It's not even the paid version. It's still just the free version. But yes, at the end of the day, you know your character, right? At the end of the day, if your character is not something that you feel proud of, you need to begin doing core work to adjust the way your coping mechanisms are presenting as character. This is something you have to do for yourself. You can't just bypass this entire process. Okay. You have to ignore the distractions, which are preventing you from reaching a level of self-awareness that's necessary. The reason I'm able to do these things for myself is because I have a level of awareness that allows me to. How did I reach that level of awareness? I lost my shame. I let go of my death grip on guilt. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but a large portion of society uses shame and guilt to control you, to limit you, and you let them. For most, it's because you don't realize that's what's happening. You let them, though. And now you're becoming aware that you need to take a deeper look in the ways that you let others control you by way of shame, by way of guilt, right? Do you know how long I have existed, never having shared any of my deeper thoughts not allowing people to see who I really am. This is a very new thing. I don't know how long you've personally been with me on my journey, how long you've allowed me to be with you on yours. Those who have been with me for a very long time know this level of authenticity and no longer being ashamed, no longer hiding myself, my truth, my capacity, my work. It's only within the last maybe year or two. Well, you know what? Let me take it a step further. There's still massive aspects of the gravity of the work I actually do that's hidden away, that I don't talk about. So I'm still actively in the process of digging into deeper depths of authenticity and shamelessness, releasing that shame that I'm different, releasing the guilt. It's okay for it to be a process. It's okay if it's done in layers, levels, parts. It's okay. You don't need to have this done in a week, a month, a year. Hell, you can work on this your entire life, and that's still okay. That is still okay. Stop feeling ashamed because someone else set some time of timeline. Let them live that way. That's a distraction. That is a distraction. You have to stop trying to live as though you are the average neurotypical person, content with following the rules, keeping your head down, never saying anything that rocks any type of boats. Yo, I don't just rock boats, I capsize these motherfuckers. Yeah. Should I be ashamed? No. No, I shouldn't be ashamed. Why? Because this is what I was made for. This is what I was made for. That's that. What do I mean? This is what I was made for. Well, I had someone I had someone read my astrological chart. I don't know shit about astrology. Don't ask me. Don't tell me your sun, moon, or anything. Is that I don't know what it means. But I once, actually several times, I had someone do my astro reading, and then they gave me this information that my soul planet is Mars. And I was like, "Oh, this is like, set people on fire to change." And you know what I mean? Like just, encourage and inspire. And they're like, "No." And I was like, "No?" And they were like, "No. No. No, you're not here to like gently knock on the door and invite them to come out and experience change." And I was like, I don't understand because I don't know anything about planets. And they were like, "No, this is telling me that you break down doors, you kick it down, you bust through the door." And I was like, "I could do that too." I could do that too. And they're like, No, no, Emmy. It's not that you could do that too. It's that that is what you were designed to do." And I was like, I don't know if people like that. And then basically, like, they thought it was kind of funny because they were kind of like, "Yeah, no, your soul planet is Mars. You don't give a fuck." I was like, I don't. I don't. I don't give a fuck. I mean, I don't want to hurt people, but I mean, Yeah, you think you're gonna lock me out of where I belong? Yeah, no, you're not. You're not. You're not. And still it took me like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 years to come to terms with that, but I still did, didn't I? I still did, didn't I? Didn't I? Hell yeah, I did. Hell yeah, I did. It's okay for you to be in your process. It is okay. Wisdom, power of the divine. It's time for you to tap into that wisdom. Your wisdom will ripen as you allow yourself to watch over the events that you've already lived through being replayed in your mind. It's that simple. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. We make it so much more complex than what it actually is. All you have to do is allow yourself to really sit in a space of neutral observation of the things you've already lived through. This is why certain memories will come up at certain times. You're needing to process that. Part of the processing, and quite possibly the most important part, is you recognizing what it was you learned as you went through it. Recognizing that, right? Like for me, I'm at a point and I still have tremendous growth that I'm needing to go through. But I'm currently at a point where now I can allow myself to recognize, ooh, bitch, you're gonna start another cycle of bullshit. I've been through that already. No, thank you. Literally, no, thank you. And they'll try and try. Whoever the person is will try and try and try and push me into participate. No, no, the fuck no. No, the fuck no, bitches. No, I refuse. I'm not going to participate in that. But Emmy, they might say something. Let them fucking say something because you know what? What I learned from the other cycle that was just like that. That's how it started. And I gave in. They're going to fucking say shit about me anyways. Because you can't control anyone. You cannot control how people receive you. There will be people who will be offended merely by the thought of your existence. Let them be offended. They got a problem? Take it up with motherfucking Jesus the Christ. I said what I said. Take it up with Jesus. You offended that I exist? Yeshua, these motherfuckers got a problem with what you decided. They trying to say that I shouldn't be here. Right. That's what I'm fucking saying. I told them. Yeshua. He said, call him direct. You got words? Call him direct. That's what Jesus just told me. That's what Jesus just told me. Your issue with me has nothing to do with me. That's what I learned. People's issue with you has really nothing to do with you. I mean, unless you're like a super asshole. You know what I mean? Like you go out of your way to make people miserable. It's you. You're the problem. But if you're not one of those people, I mean, really, what did you do? What did you do to upset people? Existed? Yeah, no, they're the asshole there. Let it go. Keep walking forward. Cycles of growth, natural law, divine order. Part of the way you fully utilize your power is by choosing who and what you allow to sample some of your power, to um, experience, witness, or temporarily take a hold of your power. When you allow someone to piss you off, boo, you just gave them your power. When you allow someone's actions to dictate to you how you should feel, how you should see yourself, and the way the rest of your day is going to go, you gave your power away. Sometimes, you know what I like to do when people try and do that? I just sometimes like to kind of say in a very passionate way, Satan, you have no dominion here, Satan. Right? And then they're like, what? I said, Satan, you don't have dominion here. Fuck you. You can't tell me to not have a good day. I'm having fun right now. And then, well, what's going to happen? They're going to try and irritate you more. Who cares? You're already walking away. Who cares? But Emmy, you can't walk away because they're saying that. Let them say whatever they're going to say. It's like a fart trying to hold it in. It's not going to work. Eventually it comes out. Do you stay where the fart was released? I mean, do you want to breathe that in? I'm saying, do you want to breathe that in? No, right? So you leave. Okay. That's the same principle when it comes to people talking shit. Okay. You don't know how that's a same. Okay. I'll explain to you. So when someone is talking shit, they're using a release of gases from their body, right? Right. When someone is farting, they're basically talking shit by releasing gases that have commingled with their caca. And they're releasing that from their body. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just coming out the other end. Either way, I'm not going to stay there and sniff it. Sometimes because sometimes I'm horrendous. I've done this several times, but my family's caught on, so they just all clear the room. There were times where I was like, do you guys smell popcorn? It's true. Try it. Like, do a silent fart, just a little silent toot. And then to the people in the room, be like, do you smell popcorn? And you know what's going to happen? Take a wild guess what's going to happen. Just guess. Guess. Let's see. Hold on really quick. Okay. Take a wild guess. They're going to breathe your fart in really deep. They're going to be like, at least twice. At least twice. They'll do it at least twice, if not more. And they'll be like, so now, I haven't done it in a long time simply because I did it too much. And when I would ask my family, do you guys smell that? Do you smell popcorn? They would just start clearing the room. And so fun, aren't I? Love it. The Eagle King, the big picture, angelic help. All right. You're going to get some assistance. You're going to get some assistance. You're going to be fine. But you need to stick with focusing on what the goal is. I don't know what the goal is. It's going to be different for everyone. But if you stick to that, you're going to be perfectly fine. You're going to be able to weather the storm. You're going to be able to do all of these different things. The hardship that you're experiencing right now, regardless of what the hardship is, it has more to do with you being challenged to remain focused. And as you remain focused, and you become aware of the fact that you're being challenged, I think what tends to happen for most people, not all, but for most, is that you get real pissed off. And as you get angry about the fact that you're being challenged, you then enter into a space of like, you know what? I'm going to double down on what I'm doing. You should double down on it. You absolutely should. Why shouldn't you? Recommit yourself to what you're trying to achieve. Double down. Let it happen. Really recommit yourself and don't let yourself get shook. Expect powerful change, but it's in reverse. So for many of us, we think that, okay, if I double down, then there will like the heavens will part and and then I'll see some miraculous sign and then I'll know and then I'll become a millionaire and I'll have a mansion. I'll have the Bugatti. Bugatti. Yeah, no. I would never purchase vehicles like that. Why? It's just frivolous. It's frivolous expenditures. Um, but you're free to purchase whatever you want. You a bagazillionaire now. You're a bagazillionaire, right? That's not how it works, baby boo. The powerful change begins internally. And as you change internally, you then begin to give yourself permission to change externally, projecting it out into your environment, and you'll begin to see shifts. Sometimes these shifts are very obvious, other times, it requires multiple things being shifted and layered on top of each other for you to realize, like, holy crap. Oh, wow. Everything's so different. I'm now consciously affecting my environment in a positive way. Like one of the most powerful experiences of this is allowing your internal shifting to occur and then just sticking to that. And that's your only goal, like conscious goal. And then realizing, like, wow, because I'm stepping more into my authentic self and really allowing my self healing to be witnessed by my family. Like I see changes in my family now. I see changes in all of our dynamics. I see changes in the way that we speak to each other. It's not so combative and confrontational anymore. Now we're just communicating. We're getting closer, we're bonding. You did that just by focusing on changing yourself. Not because you're broken, not because you're flawed, but just because you're finally ready to see another part of you come forward. You got to stop with the wanting to change yourself because you think you're broken. You think you're wounded. And and you got a boo-boo. That's all. It's just a boo-boo. It needs to be cleansed, it needs to be aired out. And then your body does what it does. It heals itself. For too long, too many of us have identified as the labels that help you to categorize the ways you've gotten boo boos. They're boo boos. That's it. You have to stop identifying as the labels that are used to categorize the boo boos. I'm depressed. No, you experience something that caused you to enter into a depressive state because you lack the coping ability for that. That's not resolved. You're not depressed. You know, they'll tell you that you are being diagnosed with some condition that is due to a chemical imbalance. Show me the fucking test that measures the chemicals in your brain that are now imbalanced, therefore you're broken. Show me the test. Tell me what the test is. How are they measuring this? They can't. There's no test. There's no test. They're labeling you based on what you share with them. And if you don't understand your feelings and the way you cope, well, what you share will then be used to categorize you and your identity. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a mental health professional. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not any of that. I'm someone who's been so negatively and detrimentally affected by those practicing their field of expertise. Mhm. Yep. Yep. You have the capacity to heal yourself to a degree that is just unfathomable. How? Why? Because you're a neurodivergent. You don't process life like a neurotypical person. Maybe a neurotypical person will stay in that state of self identifying as a specific label that is affixed on a specific period of their life where they couldn't cope with something that overwhelmed them. That don't make you weak. That does not make you weak. We all have a threshold. At some point, each of us will feel overwhelmed and we won't have the capacity to cope. And you know what else I learned? When I go through things that go beyond my ability to cope, that's me expanding my awareness of how to cope, how to properly address the things that need to be addressed. That's me cultivating a deeper, more profound, expanded awareness of myself, my internal environment, and the effects of my external environment on my internal. Yep. I'm not trying to contradict any type of diagnoses for anyone in particular. What I am saying is, you're so much more than what a stranger is telling you you are. You're so much more than that. So much more. You're capable of so much more. And part of the reason you've hurt for so long is because you believed what someone else told you about yourself, someone who has no idea who you are and what you're capable of. You believed a stranger. I wouldn't do that anymore if I were you. I would allow people who have the appropriate level of expertise on something that I'm struggling with to give me the terms that I need to read up on myself, to give me an idea of what might be happening. And then I go and find the information to better and more deeply understand that myself. And then I would go back and have a very informed conversation with that expert in that field of specialty and ask them what the options are. Case in point, I was either 25 or 26, and I was told by a very highly regarded, what are they called? Osteosurgeon. Hold on. Hold on. Orthopedic surgeon. I was referred to a very, very well regarded, very highly respected orthopedic surgeon when I was 25 or 26 by my physical therapist because I was having extreme knee pain, both my knees. At which point they x-rayed my knees and all of these different assessments. And then comes in the orthopedic surgeon. He looks at my x-rays and he looks at me and looks at my x-rays and he asked me to confirm my full legal name, my birth date, my medical record number. And then he scratches his head because he just doesn't fucking understand. He goes, you look so young. I'm like 25 or 26. I am young. And he looks at the x-rays again and he tells me, like, your x-rays look like you're old. I think he said something like 80 or 90 years old. And then he assessed my legs. I'm knock-kneed. I'm knock-kneed. He assessed my legs and he tells me like, "Well, you need you need quite a bit of work there." Right? He determines I need a tibiostomy where they're going to cut a wedge out of my tibia. They're going to cut my entire bone and cut a wedge out to straighten out my leg to compensate for the angular connection between my knees, my knee joint. And then he said my meniscus was pretty much non existent at that point. It's the cartilage that kind of creates like a barrier between the two bones, the two heads of my femur and my tibia. He says I need that addressed. So rather than doing multiple surgeries, his recommendation is a total knee replacement for both my knees at 25 or 26 years old. I think I might have been 26. And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, that'll solve everything." So I asked him, "Well, what is your professional opinion? What is your advice?" He goes, "Well, just do whatever you want. And by the end of the year, you won't be able to walk anymore." It was like summertime. "By the end of the year, you won't be able to walk anymore. So when you can't walk, make an appointment with my office and we'll give you 2 brand new knees." And I was like, that's there's no corrective exercise, lifestyle change, nothing like that? No. That's his advice. 26 years old. Double total knee replacements. I said no. I said no. And he assured me I'd probably be calling his office by the end of the year. That was almost 20 years ago. Today was leg day. Mind you, I'm still gathering my strength from when an illness nearly killed me a couple of weeks ago. Um, Today, I pushed it, but I didn't take it as far as I know I can. My muscles remember, but I didn't want to hurt myself. So I'm doing it in increments. Today, pushing it, but still well within reason, I lifted 64,783.5 pounds. I set 6 new records. I worked out for 3 hours and I was taking it easy, but pushing myself too. If I really wanted to push myself, like really, really like ego lift, I could clear over 120,000 pounds in one workout on legs. I could clear that easy. Super duper easy. Tell me again how I wasn't supposed to be able to walk by the end of the year at 26 years old? Yeah, no, fuck that shit. No. Never let someone who doesn't know you dictate to you what you are capable of. Ever. 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 I could leg press in excess of 550 pounds per press. I'll be sore as fuck. I don't want to be sore as fuck though. I'm trying to do things within reason, not be all ego-based lifting. That's why I stopped when I stopped. Push myself to the edge, pull back a little bit, get my muscles reacquainted with the work we're going to be doing in the next few weeks because I'm almost completely done with my respiratory decline. 2 total knee replacements. Fuck out of here with your bullshit. Fuck out of here with your bullshit. And my knees have never felt stronger. They have never felt stronger. Yeah, I had to do a lot of researching. A lot. I have a condition called Ehlers-Danlos. I don't produce certain types of collagen. Makes me very, very stretchy, very bendy. You see that? I'm prone to injury. Because of that, I'm prone to injury. You could separate my knee by pulling on the bottom half. If you put me in an inversion table, my knees will separate like half an inch to the point where ligaments will tear. These days, bitch, invert me all you want. Ain't nothing stretching. And that did not come easy. I had to earn that privilege to be that strong. I had to earn that. And that's a thing. The most powerful things you will achieve in this life, the goals that are worth fighting for, they're the ones that will challenge you and create a new version of you. This version of me has never existed before. I've worked out for quite some time, but I've never had the drive and the focus that I have now. This version of me never existed before. You know what it took to get me here? Gaining nearly 60 pounds and recognizing I have a cancerous something growing in my body at this point. I can feel it. Mhm. I could feel it. I could smell it on me. I can smell illness on people. I could smell it on me. I could smell something is failing in my body. I could feel it. Gained nearly 60 pounds. My hormones were completely out of whack. Half my hair, I didn't have much hair left, fell out. This is all I have left. I used to have a glorious mane of hair. That's okay. That's okay. Aged my face like 10 years within 2 months, 3 months. Got so sick. Got so sick. Still kept working, pretending everything's okay. Am I angry about that? No. I'm grateful that I was given the type of adversity that was necessary for me to finally do something for myself. See, rather than being angry that life is inviting you to reach the next level, instead accept the invitation and focus on climbing to get to that next level, developing the strength to climb higher than you could ever climbed. Allow the changes to occur. Allow yourself to shift so that you could actually set goals and achieve them. See, several months ago, I had this goal that in a year time, I would do my first ever figure competition. And I was willing to punish myself to make it happen. Because see, I wasn't just wanting to do a figure competition. I wanted to win a pro card, an IFBB pro figure card at my first competition. These days, I'm going to do a fucking competition. But if I am not ready, if I'm not at the state that I know I can reach, that is necessary to win that pro status, I'm pushing back the date. No, I'm in this all the way. I'm doing a different competition later in the year, maybe even next year. However long it takes me to safely get to where I know I am going, I'm focused. I am focused. Allow yourself to have that degree of wiggle room. All that matters to me is I achieve the goal I've set for myself. Do a figure competition, win my pro card, and then I'm done. I don't know though. If I got a pro card in the first, I might want to be like, but I want to be invited to Olympia. All the baddies go to Olympia. Come on, I want to be a baddie too. Or not. And maybe that's just enough. Just knowing that I could reach that degree of accomplishment. Because really, I don't want to be in a bikini more than once. I just don't. That's fucking weird. But that's part of what I'm going to accomplish, right? Knowing that sometimes part of what you set your mind to accomplish requires you to temporarily be in a space of discomfort, a space where you feel outside of your element. That's okay. That's okay. It's temporary, right? A win-win outcome is forecast. When you're going to invest so much time and effort into yourself, you're going to win no matter what. You're going to win no matter what. So do it. Do it. Invest in yourself. It doesn't matter if your goal is to simply, I don't know. My goals are ridiculous. I don't know what I don't know what a regular goal is like. um, it doesn't matter if your goal is to simply make it to the gym once a week every week. That's still a big deal if you're very sedentary. That's a huge change. That's a huge change. It doesn't matter if your goal is to simply enforce boundaries, be able to say no. That's a big deal for people who can't say no to others, who are afraid of disappointing others, who are living in a prison of people pleasing. That's a huge accomplishment, right? Don't compare yourself to people who are doing things that are far beyond what you need for yourself. You don't have to be like, well, Emmy is doing a competition. I've never been to the gym before, so I should make it a goal to, do a competition too. Like, I mean, is that what you want to do? Is that like a goal? I mean, I've wanted to do this for quite a few years, but I've never really given myself the opportunity to invest the time and the effort that is necessary to do that. So, I mean, is that what you really want? Or is it something of, well, Emmy's doing it? I also fuck up demons on a daily basis. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So, just because I'm doing it doesn't mean you need to do it too, right? Emotions are running high. And this is telling me that maybe you're getting to a point where you're realizing you don't even really know what you want for yourself. You're basing your perception of what you want on what other people want. And if they want that, then maybe I should want that too. Why? Why? Why would you want that just because someone else wants it? I mean, there's a lot of things that people want that I know are very unhealthy for me. I know y'all motherfuckers eat pizza. Sorry. I know you guys eat pizza with real cow cheese and real pizza dough. I can't have that. That'll kill me. Literally. It'll kill me. You can want that all you want. I'm not going to want that. I can have a modified version if I want, but I mean, I don't really want that today. So I'm not going to have that. I feel like I need something else. So I'm going to eat something else. You see how that works? Like listening to yourself, listening to your body, right? For some reason today, my body is craving some sweet potatoes nuked in the microwave with about 300 grams of bison. So good. Yeah, no, it's fucking amazing. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's all I feel like I want today. That's enough. That's enough. Yesterday, I ate a shit ton of deep fried veggies. So good. It was so good. My body was craving fat. So I'll have some fat. It's dirty fat, but it's fat. That's what I wanted. Listen to yourself. Listen to what you actually want. Make that happen. Don't want things just because someone else wants it. A time for healing. I think that's part of how you're going to heal yourself. Allowing yourself to recognize what you want and recognizing when what you want is simply because someone else told you that's what you should want. That's very healing because then you begin to understand the degree of autonomy that you have or the degree of autonomy that you lack, right? Because you need to be autonomous. Being codependent and waiting for someone to tell you, to dictate to you how to feel, what to want, what to not like, where to go, how to live, all of these things, very unhealthy. Being hyper independent is also very unhealthy. It cuts you off from receiving the love from people who genuinely love you and just want to help. No strings attached, no ulterior motives. So the beautiful middle ground is recognizing what interdependence is, knowing you can do something on your own, but allowing someone who genuinely wants to help and has more awareness, more experience in what you're trying to do. That's healthy. That's healthy. And also living on your own terms. Very healthy. Very, very healthy. You and your loved ones are safe. I think for some of us, what this card means is that you think that your relationships, your connections are going to be destroyed if you begin to exert some type of independence, some type of autonomy. The healthiest relationships, when you begin to change and become much more autonomous, sometimes a person will question, like, what is going on? How come you're so different? Is something going on? Do you want to tell me anything? And then when they realize, like, you're just in a process of growing, and they accept it. When they begin to see that it's not you trying to push them away, it's not you um, going through something really dark and hurtful and toxic, but you just don't want to share. They begin to accept it. The people who can't accept the ways in which you expand and grow yourself, you got to ask yourself why. Is your expansion and growth a threat to their ability to control you, to dictate to you, to benefit from you? And if that's it, well, I would say that's a person who should not have access to you. I would say that. Absolutely. Balance spirituality and practicality, but it's in reverse. So, for those of us who are exploring the spiritual side of our journey, it's a beautiful thing when you first start. Be careful. Be careful. I'm not trying to dissuade you from pursuing further spiritual development. I'm trying to ensure that your spiritual exploration of yourself, the exploration of your spiritual nature, is not exploited by someone else. That happens far too often in spiritual communities because of your lack of awareness and your desire to fit in. Oftentimes in spiritual communities, there will be people who, just like with any other community, will exploit that. So be careful. Be careful. Keep in mind that for many of us who are barely starting on the spiritual journey, we're coming from a space of um, leaving behind some type of organized, um, well recognized religion. Be careful that you're not turning your spiritual journey into yet another religion that will imprison you. 'Cause for far too many, it becomes that, where it's yet again an organization, a group, and someone dictating to you what is acceptable and what is not. right? So be careful. Okay. Definitely continue your exploration. You deserve to know that part of yourself. Just be careful that that part of yourself is not overshadowed by egomaniacs that do exist within all communities, including spiritual ones. Okay. A new start is coming. The next part of your journey is being loaded into your template. It's almost time. Renewal. First, you need to be depleted before you are renewed. Michael says to repeat that. First, you must be depleted before you are renewed. And that is to ensure that none of the old stale energy commingles with the new energy. None of the toxicity that is currently present or the last portions of it is still present. None of that taints whatever new potential you're being given. It's a lot of shift in the ears. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to assess why it's shifting and if someone needs a correction. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Carrying on. Context. You have to make sure you have the context of whatever it is you're dealing with. I don't know why I'm saying this. I don't know why I'm saying this, but this feels like an important message. Uh, be careful of people giving you information that carries no context. I think for some of you, part of the distraction is that someone already a part of your life is going to try and drag you into a drama that you should not be participating in. Okay? Be careful. Um the sense is that that's happened far too many times already. That whoever this is, they've done this to you before. They get themselves into situations because I don't know, they run their mouth too much, they start shit, they talk shit, they are very dishonorable in their interactions with others. It's something that they are doing. Okay? They are not a victim. They are doing something. And if this applies to you, you probably already know who it is. You're probably like, that motherfucker. Exactly. That motherfucker. Mhm. They're going to get you into some shit. No, you need to have the context of what's actually happening and you need to not involve yourself. I mean that so deeply because this time, babe, you're going to, man, if you involve yourself this time, I don't know who I'm talking to. I hope whoever needs this message receives it. If you involve yourself this time, it's going to fuck up your entire life. You're not going to recover from it. It's going to fuck up your entire life. It's not worth it. And they have no gratitude for you either. They are not grateful for what you do. The ways in which you've put your neck out for them. Don't do it. Don't do it. The context is simply to help you understand you are not the asshole whisperer and you are not the asshole messiah. You're not there to save every single dishonorable person. Because you were accused of being dishonorable at one point, knowing that you're not, baby, that's not you. You are not saving the part of you that lives in them. No, that's a very distorted thing that's happening. All your parts are still with you. You do not have the specialization for whatever this is. Do not involve yourself. It will negatively impact your life in a very permanent and irreparable manner. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I hope when this event, whoever it is, when this is presented to you, you hear my voice echoing in the back of your head. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's okay to walk away. It's okay to say no. Let them be angry. Let them deal with whatever it is they created. You are not punishing them. You are not abandoning them. You're saving yourself. You're saving yourself. Because even if you do it, even if you sacrifice yourself for them, they're going to create this circumstance again. You're not doing them any favors. They're not learning anything by you taking the hit for them. They're not learning anything. Adjust your perception. Adjust your perception. Allow yourself to see the reality of what's happening. You are being liberated from something. You are being released from a bondage that you should have never agreed to in the first place. It's going to be a difficult thing to extract yourself from, but this is what the process you're in is about, getting you out of that. Okay. So, potential. For those of you who think that, but I see the potential. I see the potential in them. No, you don't. No, you don't. You're not seeing the potential in them. You're seeing what you would do if you were them, and you're not them. So you need to correct this upside down expectation that you can save them from whatever it is, right? You cannot. You cannot save them from themselves. So we've talked about a lot during this video, during this reading. It feels like all of us in our community is being prepared for an invitation to arrive, an invitation to rise beyond what you thought you could reach and begin truly living the actuality of your potential. That requires you making some tough decisions and sticking to those decisions. That requires you being very honest with yourself, very honest with your environment, and just very honest, very forthcoming with information. This is a very difficult thing. But the rewards, once you complete this cycle, it's very profound. It is very profound, life altering. And it gives you the potential to completely exit out of the misery that you've been cycling through over and over and over. It's the equivalent of finding yourself in the whirlpool of a drain, never actually entering the drain, just circling around and round, waiting for the inevitable of being sucked down into an abyss of nothingness, right? Seeing yourself circling that drain and then being given the opportunity to pick yourself out of the sink, rinse yourself off, and be placed in your rightful place. That's powerful. Make this happen for yourself. Make it happen for yourself and see just how much power you have over your own journey. You got this. You got this. I don't just believe you can do it. I'm waiting to see you do it. I'm waiting to see you finally choose yourself. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen. So I just want to share, I will be creating the link for expedites. I'm going to be doing expedites tomorrow evening. If you would like to purchase some type of energy work or at least see what I'm offering, click on that QR code or the link in the comments, and you'll be able to see what I have available. I'm going to be adding a few things for the physical body to that link later on today. And then I'm going to create the link for the actual live stream for tomorrow. If you can't make the live stream, it's perfectly fine. We can do a timestamp for you so you could still purchase expedites. For those who are part of the Soul Sanctuary, excuse me, my bad. I'm going to be going live this evening for our private chat. If you are available, I would love for you to join me. If you haven't already joined our Soul Sanctuary, let me get you guys the link. If you'd like to join our Soul Sanctuary, this is where our congregation members go. Let me put this on the screen. Yes, join the Soul Sanctuary here. Click on that QR code or click on the link in the comments. And with that, that's processed through our church. It's a recurring contribution. We have these very powerful group chats where you can hop on the screen with me, have a video chat in a group setting, or you could stay in the comments if you're feeling a little bashful. We talk about all sorts of different things, energy updates, all kind of things that I can't talk about on a public live stream because I'm already shadow banned. But yeah, no, join me there. Um, our our community is a very beautiful community. Everyone is welcome to share and really just contribute some thoughts and opinions, and we have powerful conversations together. So if you're already part of the sanctuary, I'll be going live later this evening. Look at the announcement bar to see what time I'll be going live. And I'm going to have that posted in a few minutes. Outside of that, I hope everyone had an amazing New Year's, amazing New Year's, and that it continues to improve for you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Turn on that notification bell, even though they try and hide me. Turn it on anyways. And join me whenever I'm live. If you haven't already found me across all social media, I'm Evolving across the board. Find me over there, all the different platforms, and follow me there as well. I'm going to try and go live on Tiki Tac sometime soon. Sometime soon. Find me on TikTok as well. So I'll see you guys again very soon. Give this video a thumbs up.